now this year Vettel is currently 7th. I know this isn't qualifying as such, but we know that team has been struggling with those rule changes, and it's going to be hard to turn it around.
Well, Vettel had those couple of races, the two street circuits in Monaco, doing the overcut to get ahead of Lewis Hamilton and have a great drive. Finished second in Baku. Remember that drive? Started down in 11th, but was the Sebastian Vettel of old, with a good strategy, some clean overtakes, and he finished second, capitalising on Verstappen and Hamilton's woes. But he hasn't quite kicked on since then, and really it's the Aston Martin team haven't kicked on. They just look like they were getting back towards the midfield, or even the front of the midfield pack, but no points at all for Vettel in Austria, and they've just lost a bit of momentum, and Stroll certainly in this practice has lost a bit of confidence with that as well.
We are into the final minute of first and not only practice of the weekend, but the only practice before qualifying. They do get to do another practice session on Saturday morning before the sprint race in the afternoon, and then into the Grand Prix on Sunday. But it is the only practice session before they go for those single lap flyers in qualifying. And the calculations, the data analysis showing us that Verstappen is some 6/10 fastest. If you take the sort of perfect laps that Hamilton and Bottas could have done, there's still a big margin there for Verstappen. Mercedes then ahead of McLaren ahead of their big rivals Ferrari at this stage, and then it's a close battle, and Perez further down than expected.
So Perez has underperformed in this session. He's a long way adrift of his teammate, over a second off, having run a soft tyre at the same time as Verstappen. And on the other laps that they completed, he was probably averaging about half a second adrift of Verstappen. So Perez quite clearly should jump up towards where Max is. Verstappen's looking fairly untouchable if that pace is very representative. But then what about the rest? Behind the Red Bulls, where can Perez get himself to? Can he get himself towards the front row or not? Assuming Verstappen's going to take pole position, which his pace is just looking frightening right now. What about Norris? You say Mercedes just ahead of McLaren, but Norris didn't run the soft tyres. Ricciardo didn't run the soft tyres either. And Daniels finished in 9th place, 4/10 adrift of Norris in the end, with a slight improvement that he had as well on his medium tyres. So McLaren are looking strong this weekend.
So let's run through the list then. Max Verstappen sets the pace in first practice at Silverstone. Lando Norris, second fastest, showing the pace we saw in Austria last time out. Lewis Hamilton third, Charles Leclerc fourth, and Valtteri Bottas next up. So Carlos Sainz 6th, Sebastian Vettel 7th, ahead of Sergio Perez, struggling a bit. Daniel Ricciardo 9th, Esteban Ocon 10th. Pierre Gasly 11th, ahead of Yuki Tsunoda. Antonio Giovinazzi ahead of Fernando Alonso, didn't really show much pace in the Alpine. Kimi Raikkonen 15th, Nicholas Latifi 16th, ahead of Mick Schumacher, Lance Stroll, Nikita Mazepin, and disappointingly, last of all in 20th place, George Russell.
Well, thank you very much, guys. The first and, as you say, only practice session of the day now complete, and they have a couple of hours to get themselves ready. And then it's qualifying. Yes, qualifying on a Friday evening, and beautiful conditions here at Silverstone, with the grandstands packed and everybody excited for what might happen later on today. But at the moment, Jolyon Palmer, hard to see past Red Bull and Max Verstappen.
I can't see past them, if we're honest. They just look too quick, and this is on the previous form of